Hello, guys! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Speed Painting Masterclass. And today is day 2. It's great to have all of you over here. Yesterday was amazing, and today is going to be a bigger surprise. Bigger things. Today, the theme it's about vehicles, the big monsters, the big things, and we have a lot of things to cover up. So first of all, I want to thank you again for joining us on the second day of this masterclass series that we're doing. It's been amazing. We have been covering a lot yesterday, and we still have more news, more techniques, and more mindsets, and more learning and sharing for us to communicate here, right? So first of all, I want to thank you everybody that was here with me on yesterday masterclass. Was a blast, was amazing. I got so much comments. I have the comments here, soon I'm going to talk about that. But people, they thank you very much for all the love, all the passion, all the hobby. It was great to know so many people. They even build amazing stuff during the live show, so that was amazing. So what I want to take you on for all this. So this is a series that I'm doing about speed painting, right? So yesterday we spoke a little bit about the overall scenario, how speed painting is a technique that is changing the scenario inside all the miniature painting, all the wargaming, and how this whole market is changing for the last few years due to 3D printing, right? So you see big launches, all this new 3D printings, new 3D files and stuff that we having all this pile of shame growing around us, and nobody's doing anything. And this is where speed painting comes along, right? So putting together the correct techniques along with a nice mindset, right? So this 3-day event, when I announced this, I got a contact from a guys that was there. They wanted to sponsor this whole thing that we are doing over here. So, and we couldn't be here if it wasn't for them. And I'm talking about the Army Painter. So when they saw that I was doing this 3 days masterclass, they contact me and they said, Stefano, we want to be there with you because we believe on the same things, right? So they believe that people should paint their miniature faster, and they always should be not only faster but also better. They look amazing, and so people can enjoy the gaming, right? So a lot of people suffer with the painting. Some of the people not even want to because they struggle a lot because they don't understand. It's too hard for them. But that's what we are doing over here. We're changing. So that's what I'm teaching you guys, and that's what Army Painting is doing, helping hobbyists all over the world with their amazing products, amazing painting, and amazing tools and all the supplies you need to get your army battle ready. Get on the field and get playing. Enjoy the hobby, right? So we have a lot of stuff. So I want to thank Alan, team, all the team on the Army Painter for their great support. So we believe on the same thing. So I'm really happy to have you guys with me on this amazing series, and we're gonna do even more stuff soon, right? So it's just a start. We have a lot coming on, guys. A lot of news coming on, but not only this master series here, but we have a bunch of stuff that me and my team are preparing. And now together with the Army Painter, oh, big stuff coming along, and it's nice to have you guys here with me on this live show, right? So we're doing this live show here on YouTube. So make sure, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Follow me also on Instagram. We always sharing a bunch of contents, different contents on different social media. So make sure you subscribe over here. And if you have a friend that has a backlog of miniature that it's unpainted, if you know one friend, go with him. And then if you know 2 friends that has a backlog and need to hear this message, send them this link right now. Invite your friends so we can always be together and share this knowledge, share the content that I'm going to present to you all over here, right? So that's good. Okay, so today it's going to be about vehicles. I have a bunch of stuff here, a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna let me put over here, and so I can present to you guys what I have here because my studio here is packed with the big guys. It's amazing. Oh, so nice to see so many good stuff here. Let me put them here and show you guys what we have. Let me just put the camera over here so you guys can see me. Can you guys see the desk? Can you see? Yeah? All good? All good? Yeah? So let's start with my favorites one. So, right? So Imperial Fist. So these are some of the vehicles, right? So I'm gonna show you guys all the techniques and all the things that I have done putting this together. So let me just put them. This is one army that I put together, right? So this was a big project that I did a while back for the Imperial Fist, right? So one of my armies on parade entries. So I put this. This is just a vehicle part. So this was 2.5 month project, and on this 2 months and a half, I have designed it, built a full armies on parade project. I believe most of you guys probably seen it. I did a recreation of the phalanx. So I want to recreate like the interior portion of the phalanx. It's a very famous spaceship, like the biggest one on the Warhammer lore. They're owned by the Imperial Fist. So I designed that, and I have these vehicles, right? So I have this impulsor, the Vindicator, the Stormhawk, a couple of drop pods, and two land speeders, right? So this was the vehicle. So I also have some other stuff that were like other vehicles, like robots, but not from Imperial Fist. So first of all, you can see it might be overwhelming for some people, right? So looking, so much vehicles, all these details, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I know it might look very hard, but it's not that hard, right? So that's fine. It's very doable. By the time you understand the process, you understand the things, it stops being overwhelming. As long as you're planning all the things you're doing. Let me get some of the stuff right here, and I can show you guys, right? So first thing I want to point out is a little bit how these vehicles, how they're like even between them, right? So I didn't paint them all together. I paint one each time, but I have created a system to bring them up, right? So also they're very strong colors, very hard contrast. So that's why they're so catchy on the eyes, right? So I love looking them on the screen over here, like you guys are watching. They really pop up. Looks like bam, you almost they can pop off the screen because they are so bright, so nice, right? So, and there's a few secrets that we're gonna show you behind, making these colors pop, making this strong contrast and adding all this volume. Look at this guys over here. Like this wing over here is a very flat surface, very flat. Like it's a flat surface with just like some grooves on top. But when you add the contrast, you add the paint contrast, you add weathering, you had like the bright yellow, the dark black on the black on the gaps. It really pops up, and this now looks like it has a lot of volumes because it does, but it's illustrated, it's painted on it, right? And so this is pretty much it. And also this guy over here, these are awesome. I love dot pots. One of the oldest models, I guess, from GW, but they still look amazing, right? So I knew that they did a new one recently. I was worried when I saw that, but it was like just this with like some terrain and attached to it, right? So it's the trick on these ones. Most of them I did sub-assembly to paint, right? So I assembled them up to a certain stage, then I paint them, then I finish assembly, right? So some of you guys that also follow me on Reddit probably seen a post that I did recently about this dropout that showed how this was all painted but not assembled up to this stage. So you guys could check it out how like these very own dropouts are, right? So this is what we are talking about. One of the things that really caught my eyes when I first saw Warhammer was these vehicles. I remember passing through a store and watching this, and I'm like, man, that looks cool. That looks amazing, right? And I'm like, what is that? I saw like It's like a tank, like a sci-fi tank, but it's not that crazy. It's a little brutal. It's heavy, but I know it was not like a historical tank, but it was not like a crazy tank, but something in the middle. So this is pretty much like the hook that got me into Warhammer, and well, see what it got us, right? So yeah, so you can see here a few of my collection. So this is what we're talking about. How vehicles, they are so delightful to watch them, not only collect, but when you put them on the battlefield, they really look cool. So they're a big part of the wargaming. So, and they are a little bit challenging. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little about how we can do those stuff. But let me show you some of the stuff we have here, because I mean, unless you take a look, get some examples. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask during the live show, just type your questions and I will stop a few moments during the show to answer your questions, okay? So all the inquiries, all the doubts, anything you want to learn, enjoy this time to learn that, right? Okay? So first of all, I want to know who was here yesterday, who was watching yesterday live show. Anybody that's here today was in the live show yesterday? Type in the comments so I can know you were here, right? So type what you enjoy. What did you enjoy the most yesterday? What did you guys learn the most? What do you remember? Do you remember the models we spoke during the live show yesterday? Do you guys remember? We're going to repeat some of them yesterday, right? I'll give you the first hint. One model a day keeps the gray away, right? Do you guys know which army this is? Does anybody who knows here which army is this one I'm putting here for you guys to take a look? Yeah, big wog, right? So big orc fellas, right? So I painted this a while back ago, right? Also for Armies on Parade project. I paint these 6 vehicles in a row. Each vehicle of this, because that project was such a big project. I had such a tight schedule that got me crazy. I was like overwhelming, and I was like up 2 stages, like, oh, this is a lot. And then I organized all my project and built one by one, because I got the boxes, because I had 6 vehicles. Together with this, I also did 6 bikes. I don't remember how many arcs, and I have a bunch of terrains and a bunch of stuff to do, right? So each of these guys, believe it or not, I had 2 days and a half for each one of them, and I was not painting full time. So I had like half of a day to do the assembly, the other maybe like usually I painted like 4 hours each day. Yeah, so it was like a result of 8 hours total for each vehicle. So that's how I assembled. So it has to be a very good level, because it was for Armies on Parade. So it has to be a very high level. But it was a challenging, because you paint 1, you paint 2, you start getting tired. So you need a process for that. So I have developed a process along all of these projects that I did to go through. And first of all, you see how even they are, right? So you see, it looks part of a bigger thing, right? So it's not like the first one looks great and the last one looks awful. It's like really started excited with the first one, and then I got bored and just like speed up with the rest, and some of the last. Oh, check out! Very few people notice this guy over here, right? One of the Easter eggs on my project. Can you guys see this little bomb over here? I don't know. Do you guys know where this is from? Like this little bomb over here. Do you know where this is from? Like make a reference to a very famous video game. I don't know if you guys know this. Type in the comments if you recognize it. And this is I really like this vehicle. Such a little hot rod thing, right? So really nice. Look, this is one of the things I was going to show you guys about this burn effect. Look at this vehicle, how cool it looks, right? Like all these exhaust pipes and how badass it looks. It's such cool. So this is what this war game is all about, right? Yeah. Say, oh, Cesar, hello. Yeah, that's Mario. Yeah, that's good, mate. That's good. You guys got it. You got it. Yeah, for Mario, all the bombs. So painted there. Very few people notice on the big pictures. A lot of stuff going on. Very few people. I think only two up to date found out this on that big Armies on Parade entry that I saw. Right. Um, I remember. I mentioned this yesterday on the left. Yesterday, yes, always. I see. But if you guys know, when I presented this project for Armies on Parade, I remember Chase from Games Workshop. I remember his specific comment about this checkerboard on this very own project. It's like, oh, this checkerboard looks so cool. I did this so fast because I was rushing with all this big project, and this was a very simple template. I take like those stencil tapes, cut them all in squares, and place one by one over here. Pa 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 pa, very aligned. Use one tape to align, then glue the pieces. Remove it, another tape to align, paint everything, and that was it. Right? Maybe half an hour just to get those checkerboards, get them in place. A little tricky to paint, less than a minute because it's just like spray with airbrush, and bam, you got it. Right? So, and these vehicles, this buggy looks so cool. So when you look all these projects all together, they really look amazing, right? So this is what we're talking about, is having a process, because usually when we're building vehicles, very rarely you're gonna build just one. Let me bring a few more over here that I have. Another bigger project. This is one of the most recent ones. Let's see if you guys recognize this. Well, this is not a vehicle, but it's a big monster. It goes together, right? So look, take a look at this. This is so nice. So you see all these blacks, all this contrast, all of this. You see how really pops up, right? So it's about contrast. It's about, having, this is like a base black. And then what I did with airbrush. I did all these spots one by one. And the secret to have this nice style, I'm going to show you in a bit. It's about how you dilute your paint to have such a nice grain, right? Like a nice transition here. So it's look like a soft spot of light, right? So this is what it talks about, right? So under here you have some OSL effects right on his belly. Yeah, so this is a big monster here. So this was. Do you guys know where this is from? Do you know from which project I built this? I have more of this army that I want to show you. One that's another big monster, right? So this guy, right? So here's a hint, so you guys can know from which project this is. Whoever recognized this guy over here, yeah. See, this monster here is such a badass. Yeah. Really, really bad, really like a villain, right? So look his exhaust. Same thing, right? Same technique, so fast. I'm going to show that today, and you guys are going to see how you can do that really fast. So you see the panels, right? So that's another one. Oh, I also have like a spaceship for this. This is an old one, right? Old model. Who knows this model, right? It's not Star Wars. It looks like a lot like the Star Wars spaceships, right? Maybe too much. That's why they pretty much took that one out of the shop. This is one of the oldest model I ever owned, because I bought this such a long time ago. This was from Forge World. Do you guys remember the name from this? And do you guys remember the name for this? It's such a cool spaceship, right? So really like it. Yeah. So I painted that one together. All part of the same project. Also for Forge World, it has this guy over here. So this is like the T-Rex, right? So we have an inquiry going on, like a poll. So make sure you vote. So saying, what's your favorite vehicle type to paint, right? So I really want to know what's your favorite type, right? So like tanks, you like mechas, you like all the fantasies, you starship. Let me know what types, because I'm gonna show you guys some of all the stuff, right? So make sure you type on the pool and choose your collection, what reflects most of your taste and what you do, right? So this is a T-Rex one, right? So it has even like an open door over here, right? So yeah, so all this chaos. So they really look good. Look how nice this rust for all the this grinder thing. It looks such a nice effect. I really love putting this together. I also have the big one. Oh, this is the massive brutal one, right? So big Land Raider. These vehicles, oh, they are so cool. They are so cool. I really like painting Land Raiders. They're a little challenge because they have really big surfaces. So you really need to, make some contrast on those panels, align together with some transfers, and then we can add some OSO effects. So because if you just paint these, they will just look flat, right? So you see big contrasts to bring all these big flat surfaces to have little details everywhere you look, right? So this guy here, I also did the customization because I built this one over here together with that. So I got the extra part from this guy and put right over here with this. So really badass. So it can even rotate a little bit. So they really look cool, right? So you can even open inside. It's really nice, really cool vehicle. And here it's a lot of fire. So all these vehicles here from this army, it's like I want to give an impression. They were like in fire inside these vehicles, right? So this is where I got all this OSF effect here on especially on the exhaust. Together with this, if this was not enough, I got some rhinos as well, right? So we got some rhinos together with this. Get some over here. So we got one, we got two, and I think we actually got three. So you see, big massive thing. So when you talk vehicles, this is what we're talking about. Big armies, all these big guys, but they are so big, so hard to build, hard to paint. But if you get a system, these things go easy. You just take a system and you work with them, right? So it's like I said, the motto for you guys: one model a day keeps the gray away. So just focus. One model a day keeps the gray away, right? So are you guys here with me, right? So type in the comments. Yeah, remember what I spoke to you guys yesterday. As long if you write down, if you type, he helps you remind that information. And when we talk about speed painting, we're not just talking about techniques. We're also talking about a mindset. So type that in the comments. It's gonna be a reminder for you. One model a day keeps the gray away, right? So type there for me. It's gonna be like that. So we got the results from the poll. So let's take a look at that. So oh my God, mechs and walkers, they got 76%. They're like blast all the way up. So big guys, right? Stuff like this. Yeah. All right. So dreadnoughts, all this kind of stuff. They're really cool to paint, right? So then we got tanks and armors, right? So big tanks and stuff. And the starship, 5%. 5%. Fantasy cards and siege engines, 0%. So starships, only 5%. Four of this Stormhawks over here. Yeah. Bam. But guys, thank you. So we know what you guys like here. And these guys are really nice to paint. They're amazing things. I really enjoy them. So when you're putting things together, you really first, you need a process to approach this. And process is technical, right? So this comes the techniques, the materials you need. Also, a lot of people are overwhelmed by vehicles. When I talk about painting vehicles, there are people that are scared of them. Some people are scared of painting vehicles because they're too overwhelming, too big. And some of the people, they cannot face the vehicles. But not you guys. You guys are here. It's going to change. Everything I'm going to show you today is going to change you that approach because you're going to master painting vehicles. You're not going to be afraid about that. And that's another portion. I'm talking about the mindset behind, right? The mindset preparation for you to have a good approach and you take boxes of vehicles and bam, make them falling like dominoes, right? Like Luca said on his comments yesterday, right? So this is pretty much what we are talking about. Having a good system and having the proper mindset. That is going to make you amazing at painting vehicles. Let me get some water over here. You guys, have all the questions. Are you guys writing down? Please write down there for me. So, first thing first, let's get some of the easier ones at the beginning, right? So let's warm up. So remember I mentioned to you guys this one over here, right? Is exhaust pipe. How I do that? So I got a vehicle here. I'm painting that one in the process. This is do you guys know which vehicle is this? Do you know which project this one is? Do you know? Astra Militarum. Do you guys know this? Yeah? How's it called? If you know how you call, please type there over there. So remember. So this is a little bit how I start the process. I got the model. Most of it is assembled. So this guy is a little bit apart. So this is how I'm going to be a painting, right? So I'm going to paint like this, right? Right? I'm going to start now showing some techniques. So now we are on the battlefield, guys, right? So this is I'm going to start explaining the process. So if you have friends that have boxes of vehicles, of miniatures, they're not painting, send them this live, right? Send them the link and say, dude, you have to check it out, because now this is it. This is what I'm going to show you. It's going to make you start working on your mindset, right? So you're going to put on some techniques, and together with that, I'm going to teach you the mindset. So if you have a friend has backlog, call them in right now, right? So what we're going to do now, I want to show you. So this is going to be this is part of a big army, right? Like all the projects that I do, right? So it has this, also have this other one. Does anybody here know the name of this other thing? This is the same army as this, right? And I have more of the stuff. Then I'm going to use in the live show. I'm going to use each one of this for a different example of effect. Then I'm going to show you. And but this, I want to use this to paint the exhaust effect, right on this one. So if you're not familiar with this vehicle, this is where it goes. It goes here on the top, right? So we have these two turbojets right on the top. So this is one of my favorite vehicles in the Warhammer Fantasy. It's like a combination of a P-38 with the Apache helicopter, right? So like this cockpit here looks like the Apache helicopter with the the vintage. It's such a nice, well-designed thing. It's I love this, and it kind of takes off like the what's that called, the aircraft. We ran out the name right now, but it has like this things here, so it's a kind of planing like this. So it's such a cool vehicle, and they're all gonna have a camouflage. But what I'm gonna show you, let me put this one over here. We're gonna do this like this burn effect, right? So this is gonna be on the top, and I want to have like all this in metal, and looks like it's being used, just like this one, right? So let me take this guy. So just like this, right? So it's really simple. And how I do that, I'm going to show you. We first start like with a metallic base. So I'm going to paint the chrome, and then I'm going to apply the color later on in my process. So I save this to do this on the live show with you guys, right? So let me just get my painting gloves, which is somewhere here. Okay, I found it. And I'm going to do this with the airbrush. You guys are going to see how fast and easy it is, right? So I'm going to take like a silver base, right? So just like some metallic paint that I have over here. A couple drops will do it. So I got my airbrush over here, and we just do like a little base. When you do silver with the airbrush, you see how it looks like a very hard chrome. It looks so nice. Yeah, you see? Looks nice, right? So it's reflecting everything. It looks so good. Let me get some other here. Yeah. 3-4 drops of paint, it helps me getting these things done, right? So you go even surface, even painting layer, and as you paint, don't just go straight around. Oops, splash too much on this. And as you go by turning your piece, your part around and cover everything layer, I go like from wet and do like almost like covering things, right? So this is pretty much how I do all the painting, right? So this is pretty much it. Look how bright and nice it looks. 1 second, let me get this cleared up so I can close up to show you guys, right? So it's a very simple process that I do. So when I do this in 2 or 3 vehicles, I remember this one has a little bit of that as well, right there on the back, right over here. It has a little bit of that effect as well. A little bit more subtle because it's a small piece. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take another airbrush. This is one is a little bit thinner, right? And I'm gonna take a collection of paints, right? So I got some here. So these are speed painting paints from the army painter, right? So see, these are some of the colors. So let's see, organize. So this comes from some of the reference. Have you ever seen a burn exhaust pipe, right? When it goes really hot, right? And goes really hot, and then when it cools down, it has this effect. So this is what I'm going to show how you can apply this. So go yellow, blue, purple, and black, right? This, I'm going to show you some techniques today, and up to the end, we're going to have some news, right? Some unique opportunities they're going to present to you guys on later on in this live. So stay over here, call your friends, like, oh, check this one out, because you guys have to see. So what I'm doing here, I'm just taking the yellow portion, right? So I'm going to take the yellow, right? So get some of the yellow flowing, and then I'm going to do a small layer with the yellow, right? So just go over there, leave a little bit of the silver, and then you go with the yellow, right? So just a small line. I'm not gonna cover everything. It's just a thin line, right? So together with here as well, right? So a little bit of the yellow, right? So leave a little bit of the silver, then you go yellow, and then you build up, right? So from back up to the tip that warms has more heat, right? So start with the yellow. If you want some, if you want some reference, you can always search on the internet for some images for you to have some reference as well. This always helps a lot if you always have like good reference images to know what to do and what to paint in each time, right? So when you do this, take one color, then you take another one, and then it goes purple. So it's I have done this so many times, and they always amaze me how cool they look, right? So then take this, get some purple, yeah, and now I'm gonna do some purple also, very thin line, right? So there's a nice smooth transition. This already looks cool, already looks amazing, right? So I mean, even if you stop over here, already looks so cool. That's so nice, right? Okay. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, any doubt, just fire away, right? So send your questions, your inquiries. If you guys ever did something like that, send your questions, right? So if you got any questions during the process, type over there, right? So Cesar, okay, so funny. I'm working on F16 exhaust notes. Okay, Cesar, that's awesome, mate. That's awesome. I'm really happy to see you here, mate. Long time I know you. Such nice to see you doing F15. They're amazing, right? So sorry, can you bring the Cesar comment up again? Sorry. We are in the same page here. That's good. That's good, Cesar. Because now you can use this very same technique to do that. A lot of people use this technique. You know what they do? instead of using like this type of paint, they 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 go in stores and they buy a metallic silver, a metallic yellow, a metallic purple, a metallic blue, a metallic black, and to paint all of this. I have seen this more than you believe. People go there and they buy metallic. I said, why? Why you have all this paint? I said, because of that. So that's why people have tons of paint that they don't use because they're not thinking smarter, right? They're not thinking about what they're purchasing and what the materials they're using and other things. So with this, I'm using this for a ton of stuff. For a ton of stuff. Like this is a magic glue from speed painting. I use this for all types of projects, from exhaust pipe to vehicles. Look at this. We're gonna cover this one later on. A lot of stuff with the same paint. So this we can use a lot for a lot of stuff with the same paint. So you don't need to get like 200 types and 200 colors of paint. You just need to do things in a proper way. So this, when you know what you're doing, even gonna save you money, right? It's gonna save you money. Yesterday I got a message from Joe, sorry, telling me, was such a nice message from Joe. He's like, oh, Stefano, thank you so much for your tips. I mentored him as well a while back. It's like all your great tips, even as helped me save money because I was spending money on stupid things that I didn't know. I didn't need it, right? So this is it. Now, when it comes to the blue, I go all the way. I go all the way with the blue, right? So this is pretty much it. So Michael, yeah. What's the question, Mike? Doing this with a brush, would you glaze or dry brush? Oh, you can do both, and it's gonna take you ages, but you can do both. So I really, Michael, if you are in the hobby, for serious, if you are in the hobby and you're planning on staying in the hobby, unless you want to quit the hobby, in a short time, I'm just here temporarily, then you can do both ways. But Michael, if you are in the hobby and you want to get serious with it, you want to get strong with it, and you want to master painting stuff, I'm gonna help you get proper tools for you to paint faster. Do you need this to paint miniatures? Do you need airbrush to paint miniatures? No, you don't. But you need to do big projects really fast, really cool with this. Glazing this, I don't know. Well, I was painting this and talking to you guys, so I got a little bit slow. But if you rewind when we start this, how long did it took? How long did it took when we start this? Can anybody rewind the video? Said how long did it took from getting when we first started? And this was what I was painting together, right? So this is how it looks. Look at this. Such amazing, right? So fast, really few steps. A bunch of paints. I have here 4 colors that I use for a lot of stuff. So let me do a little pause over here, right? So yeah. So this is kind of stuff that I want for you guys to understand and really think. Okay. Let me ask, do you guys have like some hot coffee for me here, please? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Right? So this is what we're talking about. Understanding the technique and know how this fits in your overall process. So I have a little more questions here. So by the way, I never thought about yesterday. It is the camera, or are you left-handed? Just curious. I'm left-handed. Yes. Not the camera that's flicked. You can read over here. You can read behind me. Yeah. So this is not the camera flipped. I actually left-handed. I always hear that a lot of people that left-handed has a little tendency for artists things. So yeah, thank you a lot. Thank you a lot, River. Nice to see you again over here on this live show. Amazing, right? So I know you guys are enjoying understanding all this process, right? So Vinicius, we when speed painting vehicles, what's your go-to technique to keep large flat surfaces for looking boring or too simple? Looks like you know what I'm going to do now, right now, is because that's this example I'm going to show you here, which is called the modular painting, right? So modular panel is such an easy thing, and this is what makes all this. You see, this is what's common on these type of vehicles. They look awesome because they have like this modular painting, right? So this is why they look so cool, right? So put them on the shelf, bam, look so cool, right? So take a look at them, right? Like I told you, looks like they pop on the screen. I love looking at them on the screen. Really cool, like especially the yellow ones, so nice. So modular painting is my go-to technique for painting them, right? So we had one more question. This is some great inspiration. Thank you very much. Thank you. You have, remember, mindset together with techniques, right? I'm currently building my Black Legion, so cool. Yeah, and I did not like the box art paint scheme too much, but this grade is awesome. Wow, I like. Well, this project, you know, I always wanted to do Chaos Army, big Chaos Army for myself. So I was collecting this guy. So I started with Abaddon miniature when it came out a few years ago. Then I started painting. Let me get another one example here of the big landing, right? So, and so this is what really helps me getting this, you know, all this contrast, you know. So it's not only black, but also some gray, right? Okay, so let's get you to something like that. It really helps me with my black region, which is together. Your questions is just putting together this technique is going to show you, right? So now I'm going to show you another approach, right? So remember the friend of yours that you're not seeing over here on this live show. Send them this link. If you have a guild, you know, take this YouTube link and send to your guild, to your friends, invite, because I'm here for you guys, right? I'm here sharing my techniques to you guys understand and you guys learn. You guys have any doubts, any requests, anything you're doing over there? I see some of you guys already painting something that's already been useful. So it's going to be useful for your friends as well. So call them in, bring them in, send them this link, share, call them on the direct message, send them on Instagram, say, hey, over there, you have to check out this live show. It's going on right now. You can't miss it. I'm sure they're not doing anything important right now. They have to check this one out. So when it comes to modular painting, I have here, check out this, what is this? Impulsor, right? So this is ultramarine impulsor, right? So I have here a pre-painted portion, which is the front, this front fascia, similar to what I have here on this impulsor here, that it's painted in black and this is yellow. This one is from the Blue Boys, right? The Smurfs, the blue guys, the poster boys, the ultramarines, right? So this is how we start, a flat, and this is our target. When I show people this, like, this is never going to turn into this. Never. No way. Oh, yeah, it will. And I'm going to show you now how you're going to do that. But, you know, bring your friends over. Let's understand it. So this is what I call the modular paint, right? So while I start of this over here, we have another pool coming along. So vote on the pool there on the comments. Check that one out and vote right over there, right? So make sure you vote on that. So we have a little pool taken out, right? So vote on that so for us to know. So I'm asking, how long does it usually take to finish a vehicle, right? So one day, a few days, a week, never finish, whatever. If you ever paint a full vehicle, how long did you take, right? So I want to know that as well. So when we're talking about modular painting, let's get some of this stuff over here to explain to you guys. we are talking about making contrast on the miniature, right? So here you can see how this contrast is applied. So let me take a little brush over here. So you see from, so let's take this this portion over here as an example. So we have all these 5 surfaces. This one here, 1, 2, 3 on the main surfaces and 2 chamfers, right? So 5 surfaces. So what I do is always like from, this is a bright yellow, this is dark orange, right? So from yellow to orange and on this direction. So then here I go yellow to orange this direction on this panel, and this panel here is another, you see, yellow to orange, the orange stops in this gap and then start yellow again. So very little subtle thing, but it's there, right? So again here, yellow to orange, orange stops over here, then yellow to orange. So this repeats over here, over here, over here, and then when you look, it's like, wow, this is result. So we start with that, right? So you take a base color like what we did over here, and you do dark and bright tones on top. So you can do that with a few, in a few ways. Let's get some of the stuff. Let's do this. So I got this. This is like a ultramarine blue, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my airbrush and I'm gonna put, like, let's start with some dark colors, right? So really short, really fast. Well, I'm not gonna do the full vehicle right now because of the time we have, but I'm gonna explain to you enough so you understand the process. And as I put where is it? I need some, yeah, there you go. So what I need here, I was looking for, was like airbrush thinner. So, right, so you thin up, and this is the part, the way you thin your paint to have a nice gradient, right? Because a lot of people, they do gradient and they get too grainy, right? Too grainy. I see the number here. I know we have more people joining us on the live show. So thank you for sharing, bringing your friends, because they have to watch this and understand. The way you dilute your paint, you're gonna have a nice grain effect, right? So let me start with the painting before. Let's see. Okay. So we start with a little dark. I'm gonna do one side so you guys can compare it, right? So I'm gonna do one side so you can take a look. The difference. Right? So yeah. So you see here like a very thin layer and a nice gradient. So I go very little, very subtle with my airbrush, and I have a nice smooth gradient, right? So right over here, and also you're gonna see that you can mask this, you can cover this with the paper as well. But most of my masking I do with the position I'm holding my miniature, right? So you can always take, let me take a little paper over here. What I have over here, for example. So I can take like this paper right over here. Got this, and I do this mainly for the small parts, and just mask that one out, right? So like take a little paper, and then what you can do is, you know, put over here and then you paint the other portion. So like this, right? So then you have difference between these two panels, right? A little hard to see here. I get a little closer, yeah. So then you do dark. That's how pretty much I did all these other ones. So get this modular painting over here, right? So get some of that, right? So you see. So see how this works, you know. And then as you just by the way, for example, you see here on this chamfer, right? This chamfer. A little bit hard to see here, yeah, but it's going to be evidence. So this chamfer over here, you can mask this. You can do the mask over here and paint it. You can do this, you know, something like this. it works as well. But I only do this on the portions that I cannot find a position, because then it's just a matter of finding the correct angle and just painting that on the correct angle, right? So this is it, right? So I do a little bit of the darker color, right? So you see a little bit, it's very subtle, but it's there. It has to be a little subtle, because otherwise it's gonna be too much. So you have to dose this, get a nice level of sense of color, right? So take a look at that and start making, turning those flat panels into something really interesting. You have, and then what I do, I go to some like a lighter color. So here I'm gonna take a little bluish gray. There's like a gray that people may usually paint the space wolves with, right? So take the gray, take some airbrush thinner. You can use airbrush thinner, you can use a little alcohol based thinner, something like that. Usually water, it doesn't work that one that perfect. 1 second. But okay, so we got the lighter tone right now. So it's gonna be a little transparent because I want some of the blue to pass through, right? So let's start getting the lighter tone. So see, very subtle gray. So see, a little bit transparent. And now I'm gonna do the lighter tone. So right over here, a little bit. So very subtle, little by little, and you get over there. You see? Can you start seeing the panel? Take a look at this panel. Take a look at this surface with this surface. Can you guys see the difference? You see? Flat panel, flat, boring panel, and that. So see? That's what I'm talking about. That's go-to. You see how fast it is? Do you understand? Do you guys understand now? It's if you use this stuff in a smart way, you get things done really fast. Great. Love the camera shot. Oh my God, we got 2 cameras going on in the studio. Yeah, guys here in the studio going crazy. So cool. Looks cool, guys. Looks good. Thank you. Thank you. Looks amazing. Looks amazing. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, doing that. That was not on schedule. Yeah, but looks cool. Oh, another thing that I do, I'm just doing this normal. Sometimes I just do things. It's, you see, my latest glove. I use the latest glove. This is also my masking. One of my favorite masking things I do. So you see here, I'm gonna paint like this surface over here. I also, take my finger over here and do like this. Bam, and I just paint that, and then I got some of the effects. Put this one over here as well. So then start getting some of the effects. So this is how I start painting. Having all this contrast. Right. So you guys got the point, right? So let's get things moving here. Right. So we got some of these effects, right? So see how cool it looks. So let me, yeah. So is that clear for you guys? You guys understand? Yeah, is it making sense? All these techniques and how things are done. Is it easy to understand, or you guys found this too difficult? How is that for you guys? I want to know. Please tell me. Love to hear comments. Love to hear what you guys are thinking. It's if it's too scary yet. If it's yet, oh, I don't believe I can do that. Or it's like, oh yeah, now it's easier for you to. Can you easily believe you can do this, right? So this is what I'm taking. If you do this blend with a brush, I don't even have an idea how long it would take, and I don't want to know, because it would just take forever, So This is, I don't believe, people even do this with a brush. I don't believe you can make it, because especially when people build project like this for their army, they usually have more than one vehicle, right? It's not just one, right? So usually they have more than one vehicle, right? So yeah. And how do you make the transition of color in a white color? Very good question. Yeah, like the panel of white scar rhino. Very good question. The secret behind white is because there is no white. That's the thing. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Yeah. When you do white, what I do, I never start painting things white with white. Never. White is only the highlights, only the tops. For example, what I'm doing here right now on I did this massive army. Massive. I don't know how many bikes were, like those jet bikes for Felipe. It was like 36 bikes. It was like this massive army to get it in. So I only use white for the highlights. So I use a base, off-white base, or a bluish white, right? So it's never pure white base. And then you can use to darken gray or like a bluish. I always like the white to be a little bit more towards blue. I like that more than towards gray, because then it's like boring color. So I prefer white more. So that's how I do, right? What color did you use for the exalt the white? What color did you use to exalt the white? Sorry, mate, I'm not sure I understand your question. Yeah, for exalt the white. Sorry, not sure I got that. Can you just elaborate a little bit? Maybe it's my English. Right? You guys understand? If the team here got it, sorry. Maybe I already answered your question with my previous comment, right? So, yeah. So here is some modular painting, right? So we go some of the paper masking, right? Some other with just changing position, right? But you guys got the idea, right? So take a look at this, right? So easy steps. Let me get some volume. When you go to flat surfaces like this, what I do is here, I just put like some points around it. Find any element that you can add a little volume to it. Any element. For example, this is going to paint this one later on. So just find any element to get some volume to it. And you can do some random stuff as well. That's fine. As long as you keep on painting, you keep on doing things, looks cool, you're good. Right? So a few steps, only a few minutes. Remember how boring this model was when I first show you guys. And most of it not even have the darker color yet, because I only did the darker color on this half. So see, really fast, really easy, and it's getting there, right? So now it's a matter of putting washes, a few steps, the post shading stuff, and you were there as well. I'm going to show you guys that as well today, right? So it's like I told you guys, applying is the correct techniques under the smart way. And I have another one that's really nice. So we got this one, I have another one for this guy, right? So any questions over there for now? Any questions? You have any questions for me at this moment? Oh, a long day. Don't worry. It's been a long day. That's absolutely fine. You already responded. Okay, I saw that. Yeah. Use the white color only for the highlights. Yes. Okay. Sorry, probably was my English. It was not a long days, but thank you. Thank you so much for being here, enjoying this with me. Yeah, so it's the same process with these guys. So here, black, my black legion is only black on the very dark one. Then mid-tone is gray, light tone is lighter gray, right? I know airbrush is important, but for now, I will be too difficult to get one. Yeah, yeah. So, what do you recommend for us to use for us, the ones still use the brush? What do you recommend for us that still would? What do you mean by what I recommend? I mean, you can do if you're only using brushes. Um, you can do a bunch of stuff. It's it's about what this hobby. A lot of people. This is important for you guys to understand. Is to really think about the hobby, because most of the people, they don't think about. They just react. They go, oh, they see that and they go, or they watch like a technique on the internet and they try that. Like they do random stuff. They don't plan. And when they see, I know most of you guys has been doing this for a long time, years, ages, right? So probably have a bunch of model stuff that you did, but you never thought about, you never planned anything. And that's one thing that bothers me, is that people, they don't plan stuff. It just happens. They find something cool and they do. So they have been on this hobby for ages without any planning, without thinking about it. And they look back and say, "Oh, I'm feeling frustrated because I never accomplished anything. I never built a big army." Very few people finish big armies. Very few. You wouldn't believe. Only a small percentage of the people in this hobby actually build like a 60 miniatures army. With like 5 or 6 vehicles. Those big Titan guys even is even more rare. So people, because they don't have a plan, they don't have a system, they don't know what to do. It's uh, things just happen, and I always have this auto motto that I taught, which is, it's not about the time you have, because people say, "Oh, but I don't have so much time to dedicate to the hobby." Uh, and I said, it's not about time; it's about rhythm, right? It's about getting things done. So, like I told you guys, it's not about time; it's about rhythm, right? Put that one in your mind. Keep that thing in your mind. Repeat until you understand what it means. You're not going to understand this motto first time you hear it. First time you hear it, you might even think about, oh, I'm not sure it didn't make that much sense. But believe me, it does. Right? So, the brushes, they're going to get you to a certain point and give you amount of speed. But when you go to airbrushing, you're really stepping up. And these tools, they have been with me for decades. These I got 14 years ago. This guy. So we have one more. Another question. Yes. No, you can fire, guys. Take this time to fire up your questions. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. We still have big surprises for you guys to end of this live. So I'm here to answer your questions. So far away, I have all my tools over here to explain to you guys right over there. So when you place the light and dark color, what logic do you apply for choosing the place? Very good question. And I thought you were late. It was late for you, such a long day, but that's an amazing question. And things are a little bit more simple than it was to think. Let me get some examples for you. Let me get this out of the way. Let me show you this so you can understand. So I get this drop pod. So logic, it's light on top, dark on bottom, right? So that one makes sense. That's easy to do. Yeah, you can make that one. Happens a lot. Then you have to invert sometimes. So I take like the major portion, like the big surfaces, light on top, dark on bottom. Go with that. It's a safe place. Then some places like this, you have to invert. They have to look, because then you go, oh, light on top, dark on top. Like for example, this guy, it will be light here and also light here. So that will not give me contrast. So I go light on the bigger areas, because this surface here is bigger, like this one. So see, light, dark, then light, dark. So this one is smaller, I go light and dark on the opposite direction. Right? So this is what I do. And this, I paint this so fast you wouldn't believe. You know, it was a, you put this, you take a, you know, I just take my finger here, spray that, spray the finger here, and it was like this. Then I got the second one, you know. I think it was like a few days, a couple of days for each one of these guys. You got the chrome there, really nice, sharp, and that was it. Right, so that's pretty much what I do. So, now I'm going to show you, take a look at this vindicator. This is a technique, also one of my secret stuff. A lot of people, they take a look at the metal that I paint, and they're like, oh, dude, that looks amazing. Let me show you this vindicator over here. This vindicator, they have this massive metallic wall in front of them, right? Massive in front of wall. So they really look badass. They really look like a big metallic wall going behind, you know, against the enemy, right? So this is what these guys are. So there's a few models that look, they use a lot of metals, a lot of big surfaces, a lot of stuff, and it's and you can paint them with all type of stuff, all type of paint. But I don't use paint all the time. Sometimes I use other materials, and this is what I want to show you right now, because you can get the same effect with materials that are cheaper, easier to do, and especially you get a different effect that you actually get with the paints. So every time people see it, it's like, oh, you know, how do you actually paint that? You know, so if you take a look at this, it's like you look at this like real time. People say, hey, which is the paint that you use for this? I said, because it doesn't look like any other paint. And I said, yeah, it's because it's not a paint, right? So this is a technique that I use for big metal surface. So when I have like a big portion, I can apply the same techniques for vehicles and also for some terrains. You know, take big pieces, use this technique. They're gonna look really badass. It's a little bit messy, so we get more paper because it's a little bit messy. And so I'm gonna put some extra paper here. So it says, it's like, did you ever use lacquer, enamel, or oil paint? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Mainly oil paint. Lacquer and enamel, not so much. I maybe have 4 pots of paints that enamel base, but they smell so strong that, you know, I know there's some like chrome effects that enamel base that really look amazing, but I don't use them that much, right? So let's go back here, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean. So this camera that I have, we're going to do this big metal thing here. So all this, I want this to be, so this is going to be camouflage, right? So it's going to be like a bluish camouflage. I'm going to paint this one later on, but now I want to do this thing here on the front. I want this to be all metal, you know, like it's like separate visually. I want the tank to be the tank and this to be something different, like visually different, right? So it's like, this is like a nice tank that you got this thing attached to the front of it. So this is what I'm looking for. Not to have something a little bit like the Vindicator. You see, visually, it's like uniform, like it's part of the tank, right? Even because of the design of it. So it's a little bit more integrated. So it has a little bit movement, right? So like this, really badass. So this I use, you know, two colors: the yellowish from the blue, the yellow from the tank, and add the elements, right? So this on this vehicle, I'm looking for visually a different representation. So I take this guy here. This is like a graphite powder. You can get this. You don't have to buy exactly the same one. I use different ones from how you call those? Like DIY stores, stuff like that. And what I do is I take this graphite powder. It usually, yeah, on the like those stores that you buy tools, you can get this type of stuff. Just graphite powder, and what you do like a black primer, right? And then you just have to rub the the graphite powder on top of it. So usually I just do this with a cotton, right? So this, you're going to start having a metal effect. Take a look at how it looks before, and then you're going to see once it's how it looks after, right? So you can take a little cotton and you put a few things away, so they're not getting in the way of the camera zoom focus, right? So you can take some cotton on and do that. I can also take like a little paper and just do this, right? So you just rub all over it, and you got some metallic effect, right? So really fast, really simple. It's great to do big surfaces. So you take a little paper like that, and you put on top. So I put a little paper on the bottom. So take a big paper, do all the big portions, and then I just take my cotton and do the small portion that I cannot reach, right? So I would, let me see if I can. Yeah, not yet. Yeah, if I was to build this project, I will not glue this because this is a commission and it was sent to me already assembled. This is why I like to do sub-assembly, because it makes things faster and easier to paint. Right? So you see a big effect, right? So take a look at this. Take a look at this, because this is what I tell you guys, the game changing. Right? So this is what I told you. You know, get your friend over here, watch this. So if you're doing something else right now, stop what you're doing and keep an eye on, because this is stuff that starts changing your game. This is what stuff that gets you painting faster, right? So big guy, big badass, metallic thing here on the front, done. That's it. Right? So this is done. That's pretty much it. So see, really nice effect, right? So looks like a brutal metallic piece. You just have to be aware. Graphite powder is very dangerous for the lungs. So don't do this while there's like air flowing around, because it's gonna get this powder up in the air. So with this, I do when I don't have any winds going around, but it looks so cool. Do you understand? You know, it's a graphite. You just spread over it, and you get all these amazing effects. So you see this over here. I do this in so many stuff, right? So look at this. You can paint before the details, or you can paint after, whatever you do. To get this effect. So this is what makes you really speed up your process. You can do armies with this. If you have a big army, you want to take this and put in your Space Marines. It looks amazing effect. A fellow here was here on a live show. Fanfo, he was here yesterday asking about painting dark ash gray armies. You can do this in your full Marines, and it's gonna look amazing. Then you go there, most of painting the weapons, they make painting the leather pouches, and they will look amazing, right? So yeah, a very simple technique that really helps a lot. Do you guys understand that? Yeah? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Right? So we have another poll going around on the comments. Take a look over there. Now keep an eye on. So question is, are you starting to believe the painting faster means painting smarter? Is that making any sense for you? Yeah? Do you believe that? That thinking about it the techniques, the way you approach, and understanding, thinking about the hobby, and have a little bit planning will help you get things done faster. Do you guys understand? Yeah, does that make sense for you? Okay, so we got another stuff here that I want to show you guys. So I got these two vehicles here, right? Okay, so I got these two vehicles, and I'm gonna show. So you see here, I got the panels done, right? So I got all the way to the panels. So dark and light. You guys understand that? So see how nice they look already, right? So it really looks really nice. Another thing that I do, okay, so let me get these guys out of the way. So we got this gunners over here. They look awesome. This guy over here, bam, I can take him out of the way. This one, they're all magnetized, all ready to shoot, right? So this is how I build. So another thing here that I do as well, some of you guys saw, like some techniques that we did yesterday. I'm gonna show you again. Okay, so the graphite powder need a protective film like a varnish. You can, I believe, if it's a portion that you're gonna put your hand a lot, you can all the miniatures that you're gonna be touching a lot, like playing a lot. I suggest you varnish them, right? You don't have to varnish everything unless you put in your hands too much of them. You know, for a miniature, if you do, to be honest, I varnish like 10% of everything that I paint. And I never had a miniature that the paint came off. Never all the commission. I never got a client that said, "Hey Stefan, what happens on the miniature because the painting came off?" Never, because it primed very well, right? But the graphite power, if as you're gonna rub a little bit strong, and you're gonna just take some of the excess off, like just with a blow with the airbrush air. If it doesn't have any powder on top, unless you're gonna be scrubbing, for example, this tank over here, how you gonna move it? You're probably gonna take your hand from here to that. Very few people are gonna start touching here, touching that. But you can always varnish. You can varnish everything. If it's to your like, you can varnish most of the stuff. I rarely do that. So what I want to do now is show you guys a little bit of the panel lining, right? So let me get here some of the stuff. We're doing this. Black. Where's my black? Okay. So I show you this. I really like this green dark black from the Army Painter because I also use some washes, but I'm starting using this more than wash because with this I get more darker tone, right? So it's not a paint. It's like a speed paint. It's a little bit darker than all the rest. And let me just find it. Okay. And I use this instead of the wash because now when I want some really dark stuff, I use it. When I want them to be a little bit less, I just add some water, and I can also get a good finish, right? So I use this. For example, let me show you some of these panels over here, so you guys understand what I'm talking about. Is this? So I'm getting some panels. This is almost pretty much the same process as you would do with a wash, right? So getting them on the recesses, getting them on the process, on the bolts and on the details that you usually do. And this will be getting more contrast on your miniatures, right? So getting them from flat, big surfaces to nice materials, it's about adding contrast on the right places, right? So guys, again, take a look at this because this is a game changing, right? So your friends that are not here yet, they're thinking something else. If they're home sleeping, if they're playing video games, if they're scrolling stuff on crazy social media stuff, bring them in. Don't leave them out. Don't leave them out. They have to be here. So call them out over here for them to understand these concepts, because this is what I'm here for, to help you guys understand. Because I know this. I have been painting them for years, like this, for a long time already. Right? So getting some of the dark and light stuff, right? So I go over here with the dark colors, right? So you see panel lines. Okay, so this you guys already know, right? So the oops, big hands. But what I do over here, I get this brush. That's, you see this brush is almost like the pinstripe brush, very long bristles to help me get this very good control on my lines. So if you guys like cars like I do, if you know what pinstripe is, it's a type of paint, a little bit from the 60s and the 70s, that you have this guy that will like do these lines on the side of the car. Nice. Some cars, it's very common on custom cars. A few cars that were like doing this on production line, was always by hand. So you have these artists, these amazing people that will take a line, go all the way across the full size of the side of the body of the car, and a line that was not straight line, they would like curve together with the car. And they use this type of brushes, but the bristles even way bigger, like this, or like half size of the brush. And they do all this like crazy line. So I use the same stuff to do my shading panels on my vehicles. So all these vehicles that I show you, this is how I do my shading, right? So I take this and apply over there. Huh? Okay. Okay, so all right, so this is how I do all my painting, right? So, and then, so I'm painting here the dark tones, right? We start looking on the light colors. So we got here, so those things that we were asking you guys, if you study Believe, to actually painting faster means painting smarter. We got 72% of you guys saying absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you. So this is great. So you guys are understanding now, right? So you guys are really understanding the mindset behind. So that really makes me happy to know you guys understand. Thanks so much, right? So that's what I need to know. No, that's what really got my energy going, is to make sense that you guys are getting what I'm trying to communicate with you, right? So let me finish this, because I have a very important message that I want to share with you guys for this. So put this away. So what I want to show you here, it's about the highlighting technique that I use. So you see most of these vehicles here, all these vehicles, you see all of them have the same technique. So you see how it's coming along. So you saw from this, to this, then you add a little more details, and then you got over here, right? So this is pretty much what we're talking about. So this is a line, it's a process, very simple to understand. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do. I don't know why people are afraid of vehicles. Some people are scared, like, oh, I never paint vehicles. I like them, but I never paint them because, they're saying that because they're afraid of it. So one thing that I do is get that volume done. Base color, light and dark, that you saw, right? First step. Second step, you do the highlights. Same stuff, light and dark. And how you do? With the dark, you take the wash and you apply it, right? Just like we get some of this focus over here, because I need you guys to understand This is one of the last things I want to explain to you guys. So you got that thing on the color. So now I'm gonna do all the lighting panels on the thing. So what I do is I take this, like the one of the a pen. So this is a gel pen, right? So if you put over here, you get some paint right over here. And then what I do, it's I light up my panels with this, so they look not only bright, they look very straight. They look very precise, you know. So yeah, I want to see again the pen hack. Yeah, so this is what it is, right? So I have been doing this, I don't know, years, and I don't know how you guys never try new stuff, never try new materials. So see how this, and this works wonders with vehicles, wonders, because when talking vehicles, we have a lot of areas to cover up. You have a lot of lines to do, and if they're not straight, your vehicle's gonna look awful. They're gonna look imprecise, boring, sloppy, right? So, but when you do like a sharp, even light highlight on the corners, look at this. I know people they take ages to do this in with a brush. So, you know, only in a few minutes, I highlight full panels of all my vehicles, right? So sometimes these paints, they get a little dry on top. So when you do stuff like this is how you do, right? So you take one corner. So if you ever do illustration 101, a little bit basic about illustration, you know, you have to just take one direction and you go dark on one side and light on the other, right? So are you guys seeing this? Right, so if your friend, you know that friend over there, yeah, that's the one, is not here yet, and you guys don't understand, it's not here. Bring them here, sorry, right away, right away. So let me get some. Oof. Oh, cold coffee. Okay, so what brand is the gel pen? Very good question. This pen is not a known brand. I got, you know where I got this? I got this on the Dollar Tree store. Last time I was in the US. I got this big box. It was like $5.99. It was like 24 pens. Out of these 24 pens. So you see, not even so cheap, don't even have the brand on it. No brand on it. Oh my god. There's some great brands you can use as well. I mean, if you go all the famous ones, whatever is that you find. Which country are you in? You need which country are you from? Tell me. Do you have I know Pentel is a big brand. I believe they have a line of gel pens that is good. Another one, Uniball. Uniball, I think, is also a good one, right? So you guys understand how this difference looks. Let me put this. You guys saw this. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really need something a little warm. So let me show you this. So you guys, now that most of you absolutely understand that painting faster means painting smarter, you start looking at the difference. So you start to see how it really pops up the panels. You see, it's a little bit extra, and step by step, you're coming all the way over here, right? So all to these details. So see here, all the yellow lines, all the yellow highlights, that's how I did on this car. You know? So if you think I will take my brush and spend hours highlighting all these panels and all these vehicles, you guys, I just show you here, beginning of this live show, only 3 of my projects. And my projects, I do very little stuff for me. Most of the stuff that I paint are commissions. So I don't have the time to to spend hours painting these highlights. So that's how I do all these hacks, right? So that was pretty much, you guys understand how these hacks and understanding of you thinking about, what you have to do, understanding new materials, understanding process, and getting a correct mindset, right? So it's once you put things together, you put techniques and a mindset, you creating a full system, right? So when you combine them together, then you have a system. If you just here on this hobby doing random stuff, don't how to say don't ask yourself like to get too much. Don't charge yourself, right? So because a lot of people, they get in the hobby and they just go with the flow. Whatever happens, it happens. Whatever miniatures launched, they buy, they put on their, put on the collection, put them right over here, right? And that's it. So they don't plan everything. But if you're really serious on the hobby and really want to look back and look, imagine you take a look at yourself 1 week ago and say, oh, I have evolved on this last week. Take a look back 1 month ago. Go on your Instagram, look at the things you posted like 1 month ago, maybe months ago, 5 or 6 months ago, or even a year, and say, oh, I was at this stage, but now I'm here. If you're really looking for that, you have to find the correct techniques and mindset to get you evolving, right? Get you a thing, right? So yesterday, I explained to a bunch of people about all these techniques and all this mindset. We have here on the screen a few of the comments that we got from this. Let me just read a little bit some of them. Amazing class. I'll definitely sign up for a lifetime. It was, oh, thank you. Thank Anna and Dave. Thank I guess the river, right? So thank you for being. So we got some of this on the comments. Sorry, I'm here. I only have a small screen here in front of me, but I got a lot of message on my Instagram, on my WhatsApp. A lot of people were messaging me yesterday about how they understand and how they have been evolving. I got loving message from Joe as well. I remember he was like, "Oh, dude, you always been helping me so much. Always been helping me a lot. Understand because you have to put things together. So people, it's time for you to do something different on this hobby. Because the world of of the scale models of wargaming, of board painting has changed, right? So, and now I have this very important message for you guys to understand and hear, right? So take a look at this, pay attention to here. So if you're doing anything now has come the time for you to take a look and understand what I have. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I got some tea. Oh, I need that. There's Metro here. Okay. So yeah. Sorry. So it's what this is about. So this is what to explain to you guys about this project that I work for years, and it's come the time for this to approach. So Zen Art is the full course that I have launched a few years ago, but only here in Brazil, right? So all Portuguese, all this stuff, but now has come the time for me to take Zen Art and do it in a global project. So now I have to explain to you what it is, what's in the content inside, and what's behind it, right? So take a look at this, understand, and I want to get some feedback from you guys, right? Get some questions, understanding. If you have any questions, anything you think about, I want to hear them, right? Fire away. I really want to hear and understand what you guys think. So take a look at this because, dude, This is a bunch of hacks. If you guys like the pen hacks, this is a pack of it. This is everything correct in a way it's going to be my change, right? So if you're looking to get all the results and the techniques for you to paint your miniatures, that's what the Zen art is, right? So I'm going to help you, each one of you, on the same pace that you do, whenever you can, whatever time you dedicate. I know each one of you has a different time for your hobby. I'm going to help you paint in a pace that makes sense to you. So that's what Zen art is. Up in the corner there, you have a link that you can scan with your mobile and see how you can join. Oh, and also on the chat. So the guys here telling me thank you. Also in the chat, you have a link for you to join. So yesterday there was a bunch of people here with us. That was here on the live with us. And we had a little problem with the checkout, and we have been working on that. That's solved. So a lot of people here during the day have already joined Zen Art. So you guys are here and join. A bunch of stuff for me to explain to you. Let me go little by little so I can understand. So all the comments, all the stuff, type on the comments, but just bear with me and take a look, and so you can understand this, because this is a life game changer, right? So this is what I'm going to get you, from the stage that you are to the next level. So big projects like this that I show you guys, this is regular for me, because everything that I use on this, I put on Zen Art in a way that makes sense, right? So people paint in one way. People paint like in the traditional way. I have studied industrial design. That was like my degree. So I studied for 3 years fine arts. So I learned about art history, all the Renaissance, all the art movements and things like that. I learned about oil painting, painting techniques, canvas painting, all this kind of stuff, all these traditional things. So I have been painting that, understanding that, and also I see a lot of people doing the same stuff on miniatures today. Like the same method for that. Some people really enjoy, the process. If your thing is, I just want to paint this miniature, 3 months project, like a single display miniature, then that's the path. But if you want to do big artists, get collections, get the stuff, like this frame that's behind me. I know a lot of you guys here loved it. I show some videos about this. People love it. They understand. I'm doing a big video to explain how this is done and how this is built. So this is what it is. So this is how you get big projects like this one, like the ones I show you, on the table, on your shelf, on your collection. So this is how you build. So you take the old reality and you go for the new one. So this new Zen art reality, it's about focus on the results, right? So you're doing things faster. It's not a stress. You build your confidence level. A lot of people here are building. A lot of people here are getting things done together. So, and I know some of you guys already joined Zen art. So thank you for that. Thank you. So the team here is popping on the other screen over here. Some of you guys that already here, what's it? Jan? Can you guys, I have a good view, but not that good. Okay, Jen Guntingberry, that's one of them. Other names, thank you. Logan, thank you, Logan. Great to have you here with us on the Zen art. You guys gonna love. It's gonna be a game changing, right? So you guys are going to stand. So all these people, all the ones have joined us during the day since yesterday, and other ones going to be joining now, are going to understand how to get things done, understand the Zen art process, right? So what I did, I think all of my knowledge, all the stuff that I did. So I've been painting for 30 years. 30 years, but since I was a kid, I was painting stuff. I was doing scale models. Then I got into this world of wargaming. And I started doing these bigger projects. And all the stuff that took me to get to this level. So today, I do projects for people all over the world. I teach and mentor people in many countries. I do presential workshops. I do online workshops. I do one-on-one mentoring. I teach people. And one thing that I did for long years before I built Zen Art, is every time I was doing a workshop or doing a mentoring, I was doing a record of what the most questions that people were asking, and what was the most things that were hard for them. And I need to change that so people could do things easily. So Zen Art is based on that, on real world experience, real world knowledge, right? So I have built projects. I have 5 armies on parade medals. And I know many people that not even finish an armies on parade project. Most of them not even start because it's too crazy. I'm never going to be able to do that. So most of people not even start. Some of people that start not even finish. I know a lot of people. Oh, I'm doing like halfway, 1/3 of the way, like not even do that. And only a few finish. Only a few. So all these techniques that you're going to learn on Zen Art not only got me to the finish line to finish my project, but also got me winning because I was able to do massive projects really fast, really good, because of the way I approach the hobby, the way I use my techniques, and the way I think, and how I evolved this throughout the years. And that's what you're going to learn in Zen Art. I'm going to be passing you all you guys this. Zen Art has been around for a long time already, but now it's going around the globe. So I have you guys from different countries already practicing Zen Art right now. Some people already watch a few lessons. So whoever joins the Zen Art now, today, are doing the mentoring today as well, right?
Yeah. Let's do the mentoring. Yeah.
Okay. So today, the 3 first people that join Zen Art on the annual or the lifetime package, the first 3 are going to get a free mentor with me. I'm going to spend you all the bonus. I have a list over here. It's coming. But we're doing the mentoring. So just so you know, that's one add-on already. So we have 3 ways. If you go to that link that's on the QR code or also on the comments, you're going to see there's 3 options. So have to take the middle one and the top one. I'm going to give the first 3 a mentoring 101. I'm going to sit down with you. We're going to chat on email before. You're going to tell me whatever challenges you, what's your problem. I'm going to prepare a special class for you. It's going to be one-on-one mentoring with me. And it's going to be prepared like this. I prepare stuff, I do my homework, and we're going to go inside and it's going to be and that's it. That's a life-changing. I know everybody that does mentoring with me, they get blown away. So, dude, I never did a mentor like that. I'm so pleased, so thank you, because I prepare my stuff. It's not like I'm bored and it's like, oh yeah, what do you want to learn? Because I know what you guys go through. I had such a long time, such a long journey to build all my way over here, and I want to help you that's starting your path. That already doing some stuff but struggling. I want to help you with that. So here are a few comments from people that already taken Zen Art. So Lucas said, like, my pile of shrimp is falling like dominoes. That he's taking all these boxes. Very often he sent me photos of these boxes. A few weeks ago, I posted a video of large boxes I did for a single commission. People were like messaging me saying, why did you take all these boxes from? Like, is that your pile of shrimp? I said, no, that's one single commission that I did. I was like, oh my God, what? Yeah, there was like boxes like, more than a meter high, just the boxes. So Rafael said, Zen Art changed my pace. That's very important. Are you guys understanding this? Right? Type your questions to me. Like then I changed my pace and my mindset. So I painted a full squad in 2 days and actually enjoyed the process. So this is what it is. You do fast, you do faster, you do better, and you enjoy. It's not like it's not like somebody's behind you giving whips for you to do that thing, right? So yeah, we got Luis painting. He's painting all the stuff. A lot of people are going to paint part, and you guys are joining us today. I even doing that. So yesterday I present to some of you about Zen art and all the models we have. So we have model 1, which is showing you all the essential techniques from the ground zero. How to put together your hobby space. How to organize which paint you should get, which colors of paint you get, all the basic techniques, how to assemble a miniature, how to remove all the basic stuff that I bet that nobody ever taught you. You just learn on a random way, and the way you think it was correct, right? And sometimes things don't look right, but you don't know why. You don't have nobody to ask. So Zen art, you can ask me every lesson. You can ask a question about that topic, and I'm gonna answer you back, right? So each box represents a module. Each one's full of classes, right? So module 1 is about 21 classes, I think. It's all the classes. One of the lessons is about ergonomics. How to sit correctly, how to take care of illumination around you, what you should position your body, right? So you get comfortable. Put your elbows and get comfortable position. How to use a brush, how to clean a brush, how to take care of a brush, branch maintenance. A lot of people don't even know the difference of brushes. For example, I have here a bunch of brushes. People, they don't even know which one to use for each time. I say, oh yeah, this is dry brush, but how the other ones. So I explained to you, from the ground zero, all stuff. That's module 1. Module 2, it's about the advanced techniques, blending, all the wet blending stuff. And there is even exercises for you to practice, to know how to mix paints and all this stuff. It's gonna have a bunch, on the advanced model, there's a bunch of series only about painting materials, how to paint leather, how to paint metals like silver, bronze, gold, and how to paint each one of them really in fast, direct ways. So it's going to be arsenal of techniques and mindset that you're going to be preparing and practicing. On the third model, I'm going to tell you about how you can do airbrushing. So from the ground zero about airbrushing, how you choose the airbrush style. For example, on this live show, I use already 2 types of airbrushes. Do you know why did I use 2, not only 1? What's the difference, right? So I'm going to explain to you all. This is a little size tip, the way, so the cups here, you see a little bit different size. There's a way I can easily, how to exchange one. I just take this easy thing connector here, put got one back. Easy stuff that I use all the time. Really speed up the process. It's not hard. It's not expensive. If you purchase right airbrush, you can buy an airbrush, use it for a long time, and you can sell pretty much for a very reasonable price as you bought it. So you're not losing money. You're investing money, because this type of tools, you buy a tool and you're gonna get more time. You're gonna do things faster. What it usually took you 5 or 6 hours, you're gonna do in 2. So you have more hours in your day, right? So you can do that. So it's an investment. They're gonna help you get your money, get your time back. Trust me, it's already happened to a lot of people, getting that investment with them. And now let me show you one thing, which is the 4 model, the model that we spoke about today, right? Are you guys understanding? Yeah, what? So take a look at the box over here. On that box, I show the process of this guy over here, this very one, how you can use it. So I use a bunch of vehicles for as an example, but on that module, I use this project as a base, because it's a very complex. is yellow. A lot of people are scary about yellow. And I show how we can assemble the vehicle, all the preparation. It's all the classes, step by step, organized in a way that makes sense. And the best thing about all the lessons is because they are short. They are around 4 to 5 minutes short. There are even classes even shorter than that. So they're very short. So if you have 1 hour a week to paint, you can take Zen art. In 10 minutes, you can watch 2 or 3 lessons and take 50 minutes to practice those lessons. And I guarantee you, if you practice that in a regular basis, you're going to get better and faster at your painting. I guarantee you. So if you do that on a regular basis, you're going to step up your game and you're going to look back and say, today I'm better than I was yesterday. So if you build consistent wins in a regular basis, in a structured way, and has a guide, you're going to get better. So I know, because I have been there. Most of you guys here have not been evolving for a long time because you don't have a process. You don't have a guide. You don't know what to do. You're just doing random stuff. Whatever is in front of you, whatever is on your scrolling, it's what you're doing, right? So if you want a process to guide you and help you get better, this is what it is, right? So this is what it is. So there is a traditional way you can learn a little bit, right? So there's people teaching that. So you can watch, you go on YouTube, it's great. YouTube is great. I have learned a lot from YouTube, but I don't have the time for it. I don't have the time to go over there, start looking and just watching, you go commercials, introductions, and all the stuff. I just need to get straight to the point. So that's what's in there. So it's short, structured lessons. It's designed for a daily process. And you get the speed painting techniques and tested art, right? So take 1 second here. 1 second. Yeah, so let me just get a little bit of that. Does this list make sense for you guys? Do you also see this on all the stuff? Like, take a look at this traditional list. Take a look. Can you guys read the screen? Are you guys are the letters here big enough for you guys to read? Tell me. Take a look at the traditional painting courses that you see. How you've been learning up to the point that you got you here. Yeah, is that? Are you guys also watching that on a regular basis as I am? So I go over there, see videos, amazing, like painting, blending, all this stuff. It's like a sword. It's good. It's amazing. For a purpose that looks good. But, I want to get things built. I have boxes that I want to get built. So I see people having boxes, flooding boxes. I'm tired of seeing all these internet videos of people buying Warhammer Pile of Shame. It has come a Pile of Shame is a regular thing on this hobby. And people, they just accept that. So yeah, I'm gonna have this pile of stuff that I'm probably never gonna paint. Other people, they're never gonna paint the miniature they want to paint. So get into it, right? So read those lines and understand now what the Zen art system is gonna transform the way you paint. So it's gonna be techniques that I have practiced over years, not something that I learned. I learning new techniques all the time, and I'm changing them, I'm improving them, and sometimes I'm throwing it away and say, oh no, this doesn't work. I have practice, and whatever I practice that works, it's on Zen art. So that's what it is, right? So these are the guys I'm talking about, right? So if you guys are matching with at least one of these points, that's I'm talking about. If you have a pile of shame, a bunch of stuff you want to paint, but never painted. Oh, I don't have the time. It's not about time. It's about rhythm, right? It's about getting the correct mindset, right? So painting faster means painting smarter. It's getting smarter ways, putting together those, right? So if you want results, if you want to learn system, not random stuff, you want to, let's do this. Let's improve. I'm planning to stay on the. If you want to stay on the hobby and get the pile of shame, falling like Thomas, like Lucas said, that's your system for you to go. So join me, yeah? So let me explain to you what you guys are gonna get today if you join today, right? So there's three ways, three paths that can take you to design art. The first one is the initiate path, right? So it's a way for you to access all the content, all the models, all the classes, all the lessons, all the exercises. There's practice exercises. There's printable things you're gonna learn, print and do practice on the paper, and there's gonna be theoretical lessons. It's a combination. Everything's driven for you to evolve in knowledge. So on the initiate spec, you pay every 3 months. So it's as low as $12 a month, $18 a month, every 3 months, right? So that's a regular price for a life-changing hack. So with that, you're gonna have access to all the classes, all the exercises, and you're also gonna get every month there's a new challenge for you to evolve. There's a little small challenge that's gonna take you towards a higher step, and I'm gonna show you that on Zenart, right? After that, you have the Vanguard Codex bundle, right? So with that, you go in Zenart for at least a year. So it renovates every year. So if you're planning to stay on this hobby for at least a year, which I know most of you guys, because most of you guys have been in the hobby for ages, right? Very few people here been here for less than a year. But if you've been here, I'm sure if you're watching this live show all the way further up to this point, looking to understand what I'm talking about, I know you're planning to stay and getting your miniatures painted for more than a year. So that's the Vanguard Codex bundle is for. So whoever joined this for as little as $15 a month, which is nothing compared to the time and the money I'm gonna save you with the knowledge that you're gonna get from this material. This knowledge you're gonna save you time and save you dollars for you that's gonna spend. That's what's gonna be stingy. So I know that, and I can assure you that because I have people that have taken my knowledge and they also tell me that. So I'm not telling you because it's a promise. I'm telling you because of experience of people that I know that have that, right? So that's what the Vanguard is. Together with that, and remember, the first 3 that sign up today are gonna get a one-on-one mentoring with me. And also, and this is only exclusive during this live show, you're not only gonna get the full lessons, all the lessons inside Zenart, but also you're gonna get one of STL files, which is great. Look at this. I have this mug over here. I use this for ages. It has this little thing that I designed myself and I printed, which is like a holder. So I hold here all my brushes. So I'm painting my brushes. They go over here. So it's holding them, right? So I can take as many brushes, put them over here, and it's gonna hold. Whatever size the brush is, take a different one, right? So take different brushes, different size, put them over here like that. Also has a little crown. Also sometimes it goes like this, right? So I have a little crown over here. So I print this. I have a few mugs. I put over here. So I'm gonna get you this file. You can print on your mugs. I have a little collection. You do whatever. So you're gonna get that one for free. Also, you're also gonna get. Is that the giveaway, right? The giveaway. So together with the support that I got from Army Painting, they're also giving me speed painting starter set. So it's a full set of these amazing paints, right? So I'm going to do a draw for people that join the Vanguard and Internal Brush package. So I'm going to draw. I have a few of the starter packs. So some of the people are going to get, so they can use this for for the full year, right? So all of that you're going to get on the Vanguard Codex. But not only that, besides all this bonus, I have one extra bonus that I'm doing that's been crazy. The guys that was here with me yesterday on the live show, I told them that, and they were blown away, which I'm doing a full series of masterclasses. It's going to be one major masterclass every month. And today, whoever joins the Vanguard or the Eternal Brush bundles, gonna get access to the next year of this masterclass. These masterclasses are gonna change the way people understand, because I'm gonna gather all the information from them to put together with this. And I'm starting the first one. I'm starting with people that are already in the course. So I'm taking a fellow that we have been talking for a few weeks. I'm going to help him build a process for him to paint his custom army. So Joe is going to be an example. Joe has this great color scheme that he put for his custom Space Marine army. So I'm going to show you how I build and refine the color scheme so it looks amazing, and find a painting process for him to paint a big army that looks good and is fast. So first masterclass is going to be about that. All the process behind building a custom army process for them to paint faster. And you can repeat that over the years and get everything done. Get a Marine, paint that fast, how the color schemes apply to vehicles so you can build really big armies, right? So that's going to be that. And all the other masterclasses is going to be, I'm going to be gathering information about all the people in Zen Art, and I'm going to be building all the teams. So you're going to be part of that, right? And the last bundle, it's the Eternal Brush. So if you're planning on staying in the hobby up to a time that you have no idea, you are in for the Eternal Brush. So if you want access for Zen Art for a lifetime, that's what the last bundle is. I know you guys got the QR code. Can you guys take the QR code out for it? Yeah. So the Eternal Brush, right? So can bring that one on. So the Eternal Brush, it's a lifetime access to Zen Art. So Zen Art, every time I learn a new technique, I update the content on it, right? So at least 2 updates a year, sometimes even more. I go over there and update. If something changes, I find a new technique, I take one lesson out and replace with a new technique that's faster and that's better. If I learn something new, find out this new material, I build a class and go over there and add another class to it. So it's always live, always updated. It's not something stuck on time like most of the artists are, right? So that's pretty much what it is, right? So if you guys have any questions and you want to ask, fire them away, right? So it was this price, and now it dropped to this one, right? So it was 180 for the Vanguard Codex was 180, and now it's just 149. But that's only for now, right? So that's how it was. It was from $180 only doing this live. It's 149, right? So join me now for all this. If you guys have any questions, want to know more, any doubts, is this what's the content inside, all the stuff, it's a lot for me to explain. It's really hard to explain everything on the live show because it's so much information. Just type there on the comments. All right. So let me just go over here. So if you guys have any questions, fire away. I'm here for you, right? So sensor. So will the use of oil paints and oil paints washes also be a topic? Yes, on the Zen art, I tell you, do you know there's different types of washes? A lot of people, they don't know that. Do you know these big washes here? This big stuff, right? So I use a lot of them. I use all of them. Let's just take here. So you guys, so this here on my desk. So I use this for a few things. So I use inks. I know the great speed paints as well, and I use the regular washes. I know something here. So I use all stuff. Each one will serve you for a different time, right? So depending of you're looking for. So yes. So I'll also show you how can use washes and oil paints, but I focus a lot on washes because oil paints you can use for pretty much the same specific stuff, right? So I tell you about to understand the types of paints that you have and how to use them. So I cover that on the Zen art, right? So that was the thing. Sorry, I'm joking. So River, hey mate. So a question from earlier, a general sub-assembly question. I'm currently building a Knight Paladin. Oh, what a great miniature. That's amazing. I don't know if I should glue. No, you shouldn't. Whatever comes last, I tell you, you shouldn't. On the leg armor, before or after painting. That's, yeah. So see, so those armors, I believe I have, right over here. For example, I believe I can use this guy here as an example, right? So you take a look at this guy. He has these armors, right? These armors here on his arms. That one I painted separate, right? So I got them separate. I built the full body and got all the metal parts as much as I could separate. Like his shoulder pad here is also separate, a separate part. So I built this one separate. So up to a point, but you have to understand why, right? If somebody asks you, why did you do that, and you don't know how to answer that, then you're just doing things random. Like I told you, you have to understand the process. You have to build stuff to say, oh, this is why. So I can tell you this, for example, I was doing this separate because this was metal and this was organic, right? So all his body, I built like a flesh. So right, like a very bionic flesh. So his flesh is like has a gloss finish. So it's like, it's like a live flesh. So like his skin came out and like this flesh and this metallic pieces, like also working with the muscles. That's what this monster is. So I did one finish for the flesh and one finish for the panel. If I can do them together, but will take me a long time because different finish apply. For example, if I want to apply gloss on this, I'll probably have to do with a brush and wrapper on. But if it's separate, I can just spray the gloss on here, take down one pad and cover, right? So if you ask me why, I can explain you, because of this, because of that, because of this. Probably have like 3 or 4 answers to know why they're separate, right? Another questions. Okay, how do you pre-plan what color? Oh, first lesson on Module 4 is planning project. That's the lesson number 1 on Module 4, about planning, because you don't just going. Let life takes you whatever it wants and go. So, how do you pre-plan what colors, highlights, zenith? Do you use a camera? Then no. I know you have experience to direct start pointing them, but how about us? Did you plan? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So Joe, thank you for a question. Very good question. Like I told you, there's many ways you can. First of all, I'll tell you one thing, Joe, is it's not so much about planning, it's about doing, right? So it's not that hard. Remember, one model a day keeps the gray away. You have to keep up the rhythm. Now take a model and just build it. If you want to paint perfect first miniature, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Nobody that paints great paints perfect. If you paint your first miniature perfect, I tell you one thing: if you ever did that, or you found somebody that actually was made to do that, they have taken too long to build their first miniature, right? So don't waste your time. Keep up the rhythm, right? One model a day keeps the greater away. So to plan your miniature, what you can do easily: light from above, dark from the bottom. Start with that, right? So you can take, light on top, dark on bottom. So start light on light on top, dark on bottom, and then whatever panel comes along, take one surface that guides you. For example, you see this guy here. The center here is the main portion. So light on top, dark on bottom, and all the rest that follows around, you just go opposite. Correct? Is that good? Any more questions? So practical skill, it's one of the best investments. Yeah, that's I agree. Having someone to teach you is the best way to achieve. Take those skills is always better than searching in the dark. I totally agree with you. That's the reason I built ZenArt. Everything that I teaching you guys here, all the things that I'm showing you, I learned by myself. And I went through a very long path. It was hours. I lost hours of my life learning things that were useless. I bought a lot of materials, then I thrown in the garbage. They were like crap, were not doing any good. And then what does other stuff that I bought that looks awesome? I bought things that were cheap, that were crap. I bought things that were expensive, that were crap, and I bought things that were cheap, that was good, and things that was expensive, that was good. So it's not just because it's too high that's good, and it's not because it's too low that's bad. That's what I'm telling you. So you need to find a path, a system to think. So that's why I built ZenArt, because I have taken this system, all the things that I learned, and organized them for you guys to learn. So I put them on the platform, online platform. You can access all the lessons. You can practice. And any questions you have for any particular lesson, you can type over there. I'll tell you one more example. On the module 1, I have one lesson about glues. All types of glues you need. All types of glue. There's PVA glues, all the super bond stuff, the plastic glues, all the stuff of glues, and explain to you all the stuff of glues. Nobody ever explained me about glues, which type of glues there is. Nobody did. I was just learning random. Oh, this guy's using this glue, the other guy's using that. I bought a bunch of types of glues. Some of them were great, some of them were crap. So on my lesson, I teach you which ones are the great ones. That's right over here. You go straight to the point, like a sniper on the knowledge, right? So thank you for sharing, useful items. Thank you for sharing all the skills that you have gained to the community at a cost of that far less than I have caused you to gain all much less. Yeah, so it's gonna be investment on your monthly investment. It's gonna go back to you. It's gonna go back to you as the time you're gonna save and the money you're gonna save, right? So the money you're gonna save, instead of buying all the stuff. For example, I tell you, this graphite thing here. I have been looking around for things like this for a long time. I have spent a bunch of stuff, a bunch of dollars, buying different materials to get that very result that was like, something in the market that will work like that. So on my lesson, you don't have to go through what I went, trying to look for information how you can find a technique like that, which type of graphite powder will work, and how you can apply that. You don't have to spend the time. You could take it to a lesson that's going to take you 4 minutes long, and it's going to give you the correct information right away. Right? So, guys, I want to thank you all for being here with me. It was amazing, amazing, amazing to share you all this practice about vehicles. And this is not even the end yet. So we got one more day, which is going to be tomorrow, about scenery. Bring out the big guns, right? Massive scenery, big stuff. I have painting lots of stuff, and I'm going to share with some more. There's some specific techniques for doing on terrains that I have seen people painting terrains with the same techniques they paint miniatures, and they have been overwhelmed, right? I've seen people using washes. They say, "Oh, I have painted this terrain." A friend of mine, a few years ago, he told me, "I have taken this terrain and already used 6 spots of numb oil on it. Is there something different that I should do?" I said, "Are you crazy? Are you using numb oil on your terrain? Are you crazy? You cannot approach terrains the same way you approach miniatures. It's a completely different path." And that's what I'm going to show you tomorrow. All right? So all of you who have joined Zainard today, I want to appreciate and thank you for your purchase. Thank you for being there with me.
They are seeing the screen. A bit
Okay.
of the members area.
Okay.
It's not everything. That's just some spoilers.
Oh, okay, guys. So my team here, they bought on screen, so you guys can take a look how it's inside. So it's a full online platform. You can watch. You can watch with the computer. You can watch on your tablet, on your mobile phone. I recommend bigger screens as you can get. Put a TV. You know, if you have a desk with a computer on it, put on it like a tablet. That's perfect. Bigger screens because it's very visual, like our hobby is. And you have all these modules. So you click on the module, and all these lessons appear. As you watch, you keep a track of it, right? So you know which lesson you stop. If you stop halfway in the lesson, go to work, go to sleep, go back the next day. It's going to show you, oh, you stop on this lesson, right? So easy to understand information. And I swear to you, only use it for information, right? So River, thanks a lot. Tomorrow is going to be about terrains. I have some great stuff also to explain to you how tomorrow we're going to paint. I'm going to show amazing technique that I paint marble on all these floors, right? So let me give you an. This is going to be a little spoiler of how you can do this stuff. So this is behind me. Take a look at this. This I painted only a few minutes. I'm going to show you how that was painted. So this is a big terrain, stays here behind me all the time. It's great. I have all the stuff that I have prepared. Take a look at this. This is going to show you tomorrow, right? Big terrains. Very easy, very simple stuff. That's what I'm going to show you tomorrow. So, please guys, bring your friends, bring your guild. I know you guys know people in this hobby that are stuck over there. You know, they have a bunch of gray army. They play with great armies. Nothing more enjoyable. They have a nice collection of army and bring to the table something that you are proud of, that you like, and put over there. It's massive. So it's so many approaches on this hobby that you not even know about it. So people don't even understand. They know that I know hobby for some people is a big investment. They spend money on this. And a lot of people, they don't understand that you buy paints, you buy the model, spend time, and you build stuff. And if you build correctly, you can get money from this. You know, when I sell my stuff, you know, I start selling stuff years ago. I start gaining more money than I was actually spending on it. So it became income, extra income for me. So people, they don't understand that. But you need the correct techniques, the correct materials. And you cannot spend time searching for them. If you want them straight to the answer. And now Zainard has that one for you. All right? So tomorrow is going to be big. And I'm not joking about it. Right? So, guys, I want to thank you all. And before you go, I have a very important message here. A great video from the RD Painter guys. So RD Painter, they have been with me on this journey. They have been supporting this live. They have been sending all this material for me to try it on, and it's just great. All the guys there are great, and I just love their materials, right? So it's really helped me evolve on the hobby and teach people how to get things painted faster and better. So they sent me a cool video that's going to explain for what they're fighting on, what their brand is about. So they also about the mindset, right? So they want people to spend less time painting and also enjoy more gaming, right? So let me get you to the message. Thank you very much. Thank you guys, and thank you. See you guys tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be big. Thank you.
And these painters, they don't want to spend 100 hours in painting. They want to spend 100 hours in gaming. I know I do. One of my favorite games just released a new edition, and I just want my new army out there, and I want to have it today, so I can play with it tomorrow.
We know that tabletop gaming, painting events, that's where the community lives.
Yeah.
We live to play, we live to paint. The reality is tabletop gaming inspires literally every product we create.
In 2007, the Army Painter was founded with one simple idea: to save time at the hobby desk and get more time for gaming. Whether you're a beginner in the hobby, showcase painter, tournament gamer, or somewhere in between, our products today are designed for performance, speed, simplicity, and fun.
All our products reflect the fact that it's in that DNA of getting more time for gaming. And, because that's what it's really all about.
If it has to pass a litmus test, is this going to help me paint that last unit quicker or easier before the next tournament?
When we set out to create the new Warpaints Fanatic range, it had to be easy to use for the beginners. It also had to perform for the best painters in the world. But to call it a success, it had to meet the demands of the top tournament gamers.
We also wanted to talk to some of the most well-known and top players out there, so we sent Adam down to the Art of War house, because these guys, they play for a living, and they paint because they have to. So that was exactly the audience we needed.
Three most important things I look for in a paint is obviously how it looks, the vibrancy, the color, etc. How it flows, it needs to cover effectively.
How easily it's thinned, and also how easily it mixes. The vibrancy of the paint and how well pigmented it is, that matters a lot because I really want my miniatures to pop a little bit more. I'm never painting models, I'm always painting armies. Sometimes I'm trying to make some models in an army look better, but there's always 2,000 points of friends that I have to do as well. So any kind of paint that I have to do 2 or 3 coats on is inevitably going to be annoying.
The competitive gamer, it's basically the painters that want an army done fast, but has to have contrast and effects on the table. So you need vibrancy in the color, you need some strong colors to stand out so you can see it from a distance. You also want a one-time coverage. You don't want to sit and make endless amounts of coverage because that takes time. You want to roll some dice, you want to get out there and get more time for gaming, right?
So I like being able to have a wide range of choices. I need to be able to use them easy. I like to be able to take the paint, put it onto a wet palette, and be good to go. I think that coverage is important to me because if I'm sitting there trying to paint 47 layers to get solid coverage, I get frustrated very quickly.
Saturation, the coverage, and the range, the wide selection of range is kind of the three that I thought were most important to me.
I think it's a mix of vibrancy and consistency. The range of colors, like your ranges can be amazing, but if your paint's just not consistent, that just it really just makes me not want to have to buy it.
The gamer's experience, the competitive gamer's experience, is the fact that for me it worked a little bit like speed paint, especially for the base coating. You smash on one coat and that's all you need. And you have a clear, crisp color, even on black. I know that sounds weird, but when you're painting 200 cultists, you want to save time on the boots. You just want to give it one layer and that's it.
First impressions, application was the part that impressed me the most. I really liked how smoothly it applied to the models. It's very easy to use.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the range. I feel like it does everything I want. I feel like the coverage is great. I feel like the pigmentation of it is phenomenal. But every color I've tried is awesome.
Holy crap, I probably spent about half the time I was expecting to get those effects. It's getting these high-end effects with minimum effort, which is amazing for someone on my level. I can literally just sit there and be casually, and this is so rewarding, and it saves a lot of time.
Many hobbyists enjoy spending hours with their minis. Some just want great results fast. The insane coverage, smooth flowing properties of Warpaint's Fanatic reduces the amount of layers, offering speed and ease for gamers. And the flexible color triad system makes color selection simple and effective.
You're smiling.
Of course I'm smiling. I just use the Army Painter paints.
So what do you think?
They were awesome. Oh my god. So I'm not much of a painter. I paint very infrequently, but I painted for 20 plus years. And these are, without a doubt, like some of the nicest paints I've used. For real. Like, I haven't used like every line, but like generally speaking, like, assuming that all the paints match the same quality as the ones I was shown today, this line is going to be amazing.
First impressions are incredible. I really enjoyed them. They were smooth, easy to work with. I didn't have to thin them. As much as you could thin them, I didn't have to. It's easy enough to use that someone who's brand new to mini painting is not going to feel frustrated by it. A beginner is going to be able to pick up these paints as their first model painting set and be able to create something that they're very happy with.
Of course, Fanatic had to meet the demands for gamers, but every product we've created since 2007 has been with gamers in mind. Warpaint's Air is the world's first true airbrush-ready paint. Saving time because it's pre-thinned right from the bottle, developed with simple-to-use color triage, which makes choosing your base coats and highlights simple and fast. And speed paint, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. What could be faster than slapping on one coat of paint for color, shading, and a highlight? Our one-coat system is consistent in its coverage and performance, making it a dream for gamers. Whether you're using it as a base coat or for picking out those pesky details like pouches, holsters, and lenses, nothing is faster than speed paint. Of course, we make products to support gaming, but when we say support, that extends to our long history of sponsoring tournaments all over the world with funding and prizes. Last year, we signed our biggest sponsorship yet as the title sponsors of the WTC, the World Championships of Wargaming, where we went last year to see what the best players in the world thought about Warpaint's Fanatic. While we were at the WTC, we gave away a certain golden ticket.
Let's get nuts.
Remember that? We flew Tony, one of the most talented army painters at the event, to Warhammer Worlds in Atlanta, Georgia, all the way from Switzerland.
So we had the chance to give another golden ticket away. This one was for the best painted army that ranked the highest, and that surprisingly was Antonio Meyers. So you get a golden ticket as well.
When my name was called out and I stepped to the podium, I was not realizing that I was winning a golden ticket. For me, it's a huge honor to be recognized not only for my painting skills, but as well for my gaming performance. I want to throw a big thanks to the Army Painter for this kind of sponsorship. I think this really motivates the players not only to play better, but as well to lean more into the hobby. I hope that this kind of sponsorships keeps going. I think this will make the hobby grow even more, and I hope that others joins this kind of actions.
We sometimes like to think that we're a game company without a game. We just happen to make some really good paints, and a few helpful accessories as well. Everything from basing materials, assembly tools, glue, and even a few gaming accessories. Our marker lights, target lock, and rangefinder help make your gaming experience better even after your army is painted.
Of course, every product we make has to be viable from a business point of view, which is sadly boring, but true. However, when we make products and we think they're really cool, chances are that you might like them too, because we're both painters and gamers. We feel we've hit a real milestone with the Fanatic Warpaints range. Now, we're by no means done with new releases and have a lot of cool stuff coming the next few years. I have some stupid ideas, I might have some not so stupid ideas. You'll be the judge of that.
Whenever we develop a new product, we always ask ourselves, how will this help gamers? Because we're gamers too. Whether we're playing for our national team at a tournament, chucking dice in our spare time at the office, or slow growing our way through the arena of escalation, gaming is at the heart of everything we do.
When we started the development process of the Fnatic Warpaints line, I was put in the position of supervising the competitive gaming aspect of the paint line. And I'm so grateful for all the fantastic feedback we got from gamers, being exactly what I hoped it would be. I'm so proud that this paint is actually really, really good to get armies on the table. So with the release of the Fnatic Warpaints line, the airbrush range, the speed paint range, you have no excuse anymore. You have everything you need to get more time for gaming. So go out there, paint your army, and get to the top tables.
I see you're still here. So, you know, we spoke a lot today about speed painting. And life is not only about speed painting, but also about speed decision. So, if you made all this way on this life, I'm going to give you a gift. So, if you join Zainart now, any package, I'm going to give you 2 mentoring sessions, but it's going to be only for the 5 persons on the front, and they're going to have to send me a message, a direct message called speed painting, and you get in Zainart, and then you send me a message, right? See you there. Bye-bye.